5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. I'm glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us. I don't know how I got this thing set up here, how it's supposed to be. I don't know. Where are we here? It is what it is. I have no idea. I got to get my camera all set up. There we go. That's a little better, I guess. I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I didn't even check that this morning. We're back for the first time since, I think, December 17th. It's a good long run since we've been on the air, since we've had a show. And yeah, it just, and the usual problems with technology, getting the show off the ground, and a different studio than I'm used to being into, but I thought I came in here last night and got everything ready, but I didn't plug one thing in. And that one thing put us back in time. And so now we have half a show today, basically, but it is better than no show at all for our first show back for the year. There's just as much going on as usual. So many things happened over the holidays, internationally, nationally, regionally, locally. I hope everyone had a great holiday and was able to enjoy time with loved ones, family, friends, just time with yourself, retrospectively looking at your life and the good, the bad, the ugly that was 2025. And as you look towards a new year, 2026, that you might be able to find some goals, make some changes, positive changes in your life. And what would those changes be, if any, right? I'm sure you can come up with some. We can all come up with some positive changes. And I think that's what it's all about. Do you want to make some little changes? Do you want to make some big changes? We really should be asking ourselves those things on a daily basis. But this is a perfect time of year to do that, is the beginning of the year. And that's what I've done. I'm doing. I will continue to do that. Change is my theme for this year. So many changes on the horizon everywhere. Career. My passion, such as this, doing this show, looking at doing other podcasts as well that are more specific and have a larger audience. We just reached 10,000 followers on our Facebook page for Sudbury News, which is a great feat. It's something that I've been focused on for some time, and I made it a goal to reach that by the end of the year, and we did it the 1st of January. We didn't reach it by the end of the year, but we reached it on the first day of the new year. And I will continue that momentum to try to get this page out to as many people in the city and abroad as possible. So that way we could have a conversation about the issues that affect all of us in this city of ours. Grateful for those that contributed to Sudbury News monetarily. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. And Belinda, thank you so much. And Nana as well. Thank you. We really appreciate that. It's not needed, although I do put that out on the ticker every once in a while. But when people actually give a financial donation to the the show, I almost feel we don't deserve it, right, kind of thing. And it's just something that I've been used to funding. It's not that it's the most expensive thing in the world. It just takes up a lot of time in the morning before work. But what would I rather be doing with my time anyways in the morning than to be spending it with you and just conversing about the challenges that we face in our society, whether it's locally, regionally, as a country, as a world. It's we live in unprecedented times, and they're going to get even more interesting in the near future. We're at a hinge point in history, and we're part of the transformation in history. Good, bad, and ugly again. There's some good things. There's some bad things. There's some exciting things, and then there's some things that will bring a lot of dread to a lot of people. So there's a mixed bag of emotions, a mixed bag of things that are coming in recent years to come. And so we're going to be going through it as much as we can. I know part of the transformation is Canada's changing into a communist country. It probably is already there in so many ways, but it just has to it's like up on top of the fence with one leg over it, and it just needs to just jump onto the ground, and we're there, kind of thing. Laws that are being changed in order to facilitate that. We have all the Bill C this, C that. Bill C9 is pretty scary. We'll have more on that in the upcoming weeks. Bill C9, online hate. Basically, it's just an attack on what our values have been for so many years, and Christian values that the nation was built on. And this bill just goes right for that, but it's combined with all these other bills that it's like if it was a boxing match, it would be like an uppercut, a blow below the belt, an elbow in the face. Speaking with going with the elbows up theme, so a lot of dirty boxing going on with all these bills that are coming forward. We have a corrupt government, very corrupt government. We have corrupt governments at every level, every party. And again, right? So communism, you don't have benevolent people that have all of the best interest of their citizens at heart, although we have a lot of misinformed people in our country who believe the utopian communistic style of government that's never been achieved in the world before will somehow be able to be achieved in our country, and so they're for that, but it will never happen. I guarantee you that. It's my guarantee. It's my warranty on my word. It's a lifetime warranty. It's a lifetime guarantee that will never be achieved in the world. You will never have a utopian communistic government anywhere the way you think it should be. And although we are going to go through it now, so you'll see it. And part of that is, even though I'd wish to be on the air all the time, one of these laws could possibly put me in prison just for saying the things I've just said now, which are my opinion. And I didn't agree with the ruling class, the rulers of our country. And so if you don't agree with them, you can face prison time because they can deem hate whatever they believe is hate. Hate is not even defined, right? Hate speech, it's not even really defined. Our laws cover it to a degree, and people aren't satisfied with the way the laws are. And so we have to come out with new laws and just silence those we don't agree with is what the new hate culture is. It was cancel culture for a while. And now we're going to say that's hateful. Because I'm in government, I can tell you that that's hateful, or if I'm in a position of authority, I can just say that's hateful, and now you have to face the consequences. And because I have the authority, I can punish you for that with the law, and whatever that means, right? So we're going into crazy clown world. You think it's clown world right now, but it's going to go even more into that, and we've let it happen. So whose fault is it? We have a bunch of Yeah. The people at the top do what they want. They're not subject to the same laws you and I are subject to. And so that's gradually been able to happen over time. And we just let things slide to the point where it's snowballed out of control and no one's going to be able to stop it. But that's my wonderful, uplifting rant of the day to start off the show. So happy New Year, everyone. We'll dive right in. I didn't even get the weather queued up, but I can. It just takes a click of a button and a refresh. And there's probably an advisory of some kind going on because that's the type of weather we have in Sudbury. A freezing drizzle warning to talk about. We'll be back with weather and then we'll get your comments. We'll talk about the new garbage pickup policy that started January 1st, which got a lot of people wondering what the heck is going on, but we'll go through the garbage policy of the city, and it's done by another company, and so they're doing it a different way, and we got caught in that yesterday, and I'll explain that. It's an interesting story, but we'll be back with all of that and more right after this. And Sudbury Weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. Currently, there is a yellow advisory. It means freezing drizzle out there. Current conditions, it's -3, freezing fog. So there's freezing fog. And yesterday I was driving, right, and I can attest to this. There was just a haze everywhere. And your window kept freezing up as you're driving just all the time. It wasn't that there was drizzle per se, but the fog was constantly freezing up on your window and making driving conditions interesting, right? So cloudy with a 60% chance of light snow and a risk of freezing drizzle today. Fog patches dissipating in the morning. Wind 15 kilometers, high 0, -7 this morning with the wind chill. Tonight, cloudy with the moderate wind again. Low of -3, wind chill near -8. Tomorrow morning, cloudy with a 30% chance of drizzle in the afternoon. Wind becoming 20 kilometers, gusting to 40 in the morning. High of +2, wind chill -7 in the morning. UV index 1 or low. UV index is a non-factor at this time of year. Overnight, rain or snow. +2 is your low. And we'll leave it at that. We'll look at Friday with a high of +2. 60% chance of rain or snow. Saturday, -2, 60% chance of flurries. Sunday, mix of sun and cloud, high of -7, sorry. And then 40% chance of flurries on Monday, high of -4 on Tuesday, cloudy. That's your Sudbury Weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with a few morning shoutouts. Looks like a lot of active people on our comment section. In our comment section, we'll check in with you. Wish you all a happy New Year, and cover at least one local Sudbury story, along with whatever I'm ranting about, which I apologize for. As soon as we come back, right after this. All right. Good morning. I noticed something I didn't realize could happen before is as we were getting ready to come on live, people could comment and on YouTube, and it was Northern Hillbilly saying, "Good morning, people." And I didn't realize that as we were kind of just getting ready to come on live, that people could just start a conversation already. Whether that's just on YouTube, I don't know. Is it YouTube and Facebook? I have no idea. So that's interesting to know. So good morning, Northern Hillbilly. Good morning, Judy on Facebook. Vin, happy 26, you all. And Miles, hey, happy New Year. World starts off with a bang, yeah. Going into Venezuela and getting the leader who is basically unelected and, illegally running the country, right? Regardless of what the news wants to say. Now, whether that was right or wrong, what they did, who knows? That's up to people. Right or wrong, what does it mean in this world today? Like, who are the, people that know what's right and wrong? It's almost like anything goes, right? It's your truth. So all these people with your truth, I remember that came out like 15, 20 years ago. It's your truth. Truth is whatever you make it out to be. Well, you lose all sense of right and wrong then. I don't even know. No one can have an opinion after that. You can do whatever you want because it's your truth. Truth is subjective. You could just make up whatever you want and it's true, right? Remember that was creeping into our society and became, everyone was prevailing, the prevailing kind of way to look at truth. I'm like, no, truth is either it is true or it's not. So it doesn't matter what I think. I could, think all I want that I can, wear my underwear outside in 50 below freezing weather and I'll be fine. I can believe that all I want. But as soon as I do that, truth, real truth will come through and prevail. And I will have to be subject to it, regardless of what I think is true or not. And so I think it's important to find out what is really true, not what I just think is true. It's not about me. It's separate than me. Truth is self-evident. It stands alone. It is what it is. I can't do anything about truth, whether I like it or not. It's there, right? Now, so people have opinions about who's right, who's wrong with running the country, running the world, running our cities, and it comes down to true principles that we need to all kind of agree on and then build upon. And I think we had that in our society before, but there's this huge movement to just tear all that down. And it's whatever your truth is kind of thing, that camp. And then you just have chaos. And that's what we're coming into now. But it's not just, it's there for a reason. It's there on purpose. It's there because people have something to gain by the masses thinking like that. Because then as soon as everyone loses their sense of what's right and what's wrong or what's true and what's not, they lose themselves. And then there's a group of people who could then take control over a society that's come unhinged, and so you'd have to ask yourself, is that done on purpose by a group of people who, want that to happen? And these are just questions. I'm seeing the collapse of our society at every level, the highest to the lowest, total collapse. And we're seeing it in Canada more than anything. Like, we just got the numbers of MAID alone, the medical assistance in dying in Canada. There's 90,000 people that have utilized MAID to end their lives. That's like Timmins and North Bay together. Population since MAID came out. Wow. That's interesting, It's in some provinces the highest cause of death is just euthanasia in our country. That's just one thing. There's millions of things going on. That's just one small indicator, if you will, of the circumstances we are in. It's so bad that the government offers people euthanasia as a way to get out of our society's collapse, and it's only going to get more and more, right? Oh, there's so much. That's a rabbit hole, that whole thing. But we'll just welcome Denise here on YouTube. Good morning, Denise. Peace and groovy living, everyone, in the new year of 2026. Melinda, good morning. Lies cannot survive in the presence of truth, just as darkness cannot exist in the presence of light. You are 100% true. And again, we're always on the same track. I did not read your comment before now. And, what am I ranting about? Exactly what you are talking about. Northern Hillbilly 2026 will be special. It will be. And good morning. Happy New Year to you, Andrew. Vin says congrats. Yeah, on the 10,000 followers on Facebook. It took us a long time and a lot of work. Miles, Nick Shirley was voted the best new journalist in 2025 in the States, deservedly so. Cool. And Belinda says, you deserve that. Oh, thank you very much, Belinda. Much appreciated. Logic, Happy New Year, everyone. It's going to be a doozy. Medals are the way to go. So yeah, silver and gold, definitely. If you haven't invested in those, the actual silver that you hold in your hand or gold you hold in your hand, not the pieces of paper that say you have a piece of silver or gold. Actually, silver and gold has gone up a lot, and it's still, I think, a good investment if you were to get your hands on the physical silver and the physical gold if you can afford it. Missed y'all. Happy New Year from Niagara. That's Betty. Good morning to you. And Marianne. Good morning, everyone from Barrie, where the weather never stops. Welcome to 2026. And good morning, Marianne. Liked and shared as usual, I have to say. And yeah, there you go. Lurleen is here. And we didn't really miss much because we came on late this morning, and good morning to you. We need people like Nick Shirley in Canada. We got some really good independent journalists, Miles, as you know, in Canada. There's quite a few of them coming up. And yeah, just David from Moose on the Loose, stellar podcasting. He has like 2 or 3 a day. He's got his chart, which he's for the first time I've ever seen, documenting government corruption. Like he's documenting it. And you can get it from moosechart.ca, I believe, or moosechart.com. So anyone can get it. And it's just the most elaborate, fact-filled chart, interactive, that I've ever seen, that shows the conflicts of interest of this particular regime, including the one at the head, which would be Mark Carney. All of the conflicts of interest. He's basically a dictator. He's an oligarch. What do they call him? Plutarian? Plutarian? The new phrase that Freeland coined in her book. Anyways, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And so he's a rich guy who is in power, positions of influence behind the scenes in many governments, who then just came to the forefront and is making vast amounts of money off his investments, being at the helm of making the decisions of what to do with Canadians' money, which makes him richer, which is, if you wanted to do a study of conflict of interest, he would be the poster child for it. But because we have a compromised media in Canada that's paid off by the very government that we're talking about, they're not there to expose it. So you need independent journalists like we have, like David from Moose on the Loose. So many other great independent journalists in Canada as well. Anyways, you know who they are because you guys all pay attention to these things. And Hazel, good morning. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're back as well, Hazel. Many lies are being exposed. I believe a freight train of truth is barreling down the track our way. That's Belinda for sure. Lurleen, yes, it's scary here in Canada. 1,000,000%. I agree with that. New Year, same hypocrisies still be shown. Those justifying universal basic income are using Alaskan Permanent Fund dividend as their best comparison. I wasn't even aware of that. Thanks, Vin. They set aside Alaska being bought, are against the U.S. purchasing Greenland, failing to recognize it's up to no one other than America, Greenlanders, and Denmark. So that's Vin. And Steve, good morning to you, all the way from Timmins, one of my favorite cities. I'll be visiting there this weekend. And Miles, best new movie, coming, of course, from Angel Studios, Truth and Treason. Yeah, I mentioned that on the show. I don't know if you were on at the time I did. We watched it down in the theater, down in Brampton, or around there. Great movie. So good. About one young man just going against Adolf Hitler in Germany in the 40s, and how the difference one, I believe he was 17 years old, could stand up and make such a huge difference in this type of climate, right? You always say, oh, if I was back in Germany, I would have known. I would have been one of those ones. I would have been like the guy from Valkyrie, that Tom Cruise played. I would have been like him, or I would have been like this young man in Truth and Treason. But the long short of it is most of us wouldn't have been like that. Most of us would have been scared for our lives, and we would have just towed the line and tried to protect our families. And even if we knew what was right or wrong, we would have just settled because we would have been afraid. And we saw that over the last, 5 years or so, right? What people did when they're going to lose their jobs and stuff. We saw what most people did. Okay. So here we're just going to go through some of the comments as we will not have enough time to go through all of them. And I apologize. It was me mainly coming on late. For one, a couple of headlines from the Sudbury area, including the new garbage pickup policy from the city. So here you go, just as we're closing out. Sudbury's emergency department feeling the pressure of cold and flu season. Health Sciences North is experiencing higher demand because of these and other factors, such as traumatic injuries. Interesting. Read all about it. That's from the Sudbury Star. It lands on our Sudbury.news aggregating website where you can read all of those. We talked about the freezing drizzle already. Sudbury police checks 32 drivers charged with impaired in December alone. I don't know why people don't drink and drive. There was a collision on Highway 144. They had to close it down last night. That still continues to be a really dangerous stretch of highway. So if you are driving it at any point in time, to make sure that please make sure that you drive carefully and not impaired, by the way, right? So anyways, I just saw the story of 144, but I guess as I was going through it, I did not notice it again, and it probably just disappeared because that's what happens sometimes. Oh no, it's further up here. So, serious collision closes Highway 144. In Sudbury, travelers were asked to take alternative routes. That was reported by the Sudbury Star 8:06 p.m. last night. And Happy New Year from Montreal. That's Sue. Montreal, welcome. We have quite a few people who've joined us from Quebec over the last little while. Grand Rising, that's Monique. Happy New Year to you as well. The only way out of centralized authority is returning to local community-based systems of governance. That's the only way abundance returns. Yeah, that's true. Owning your own business. I think if everyone had a little side gig going on, that would really help the economy as well. Robert, good morning to you, as well as Evelyn. Good morning. Learning to split my own wood. Crazy back here this winter. Yes, it is. Crazy weather for sure. Yeah, there's so let's get with this recycling story here from Sudbury. Sudbury's main website, greatersudbury.ca. Blue Box Recycling Program, important changes coming January 1st. That was, 6 days ago. What's happening? Starting January 1st, the management of the residential Blue Box Recycling will transfer from the Greater Sudbury, City of Sudbury to producers of Blue Box materials. This change is required under new provincial legislation. Who knew? Informational magnets will be coming to your Blue Box, and that's something I never received. Did you receive these magnets in your Blue Box? We never did, so we weren't aware of any changes coming up. My wife said she saw something briefly on Facebook but didn't know the details about it. So between December 9th and 26th, there's supposed to be magnets that were placed in our Blue Boxes talking about the changes of the garbage collection, including recycling. If you didn't receive your magnet, you're supposed to click the link, greatersudbury.ca blue box changes. Guess what I'm going to be clicking today because I didn't get a magnet. The program is changing. So responsibility. Producers of blue box materials will now handle all operational and functional financial responsibilities. You got to contact Waste Management for questions, collection concerns, or new replacement blue boxes. 1-800-561-1655 or canresidential@wm.com. canresidential@wm.com if you have a question or a concern about garbage pickup. You can just go on the Greater City of Sudbury's website for this information too, or just Google it. Google garbage pickup policy changes in Greater Sudbury or whatever, and you'll get this. So if you're missing this information and you needed to know more about it. But they have a list of accepted materials. So things have changed, what's accepted, what's not. So yesterday we put ours out, and usually they come first thing in the morning, but it was still 3 p.m. in the afternoon or 4, and it still wasn't taken. And we were driving all over the valley, and we can see every second or third garbage or recycling was taken, and every second or third one wasn't. So it was about 50-50. Some were taken, some weren't. So we're like, oh man, I guess we got to really look at this. We thought it was because we were putting cardboard in our boxes, because everyone we saw had a bunch of cardboard in the boxes. But then Facebook later that day said, just a bunch of people said, oh, they came at 7 at night. 7 at night to get their recycling when usually it's 7 in the morning or shortly thereafter. So something happened yesterday. We're not sure what. I'll have to call. So not sure whether people are not in compliance with the new changes, and that's why they didn't take theirs. Who knows what it is? But just check out the city's website. You can email this canresidentialwm.com, which is short for Waste Management. Waste Management will be the ones managing everything from now on. So if you have any questions, you have to deal with them, not the City of Greater Sudbury. I'm sure they were bombarded with calls yesterday, people calling 311 about their garbage pickup. Anyways, Chris, good morning to you from Massey. Good morning, Chris. Looks like Chris and Tina, you got both of you on here as a handle. Good morning to y'all. That's all the time we got for the morning. Just a shout out to Sudbury Steffi for joining us here. You're just saying to check the ncrp.ca website for stuff that are coming up and spread the news that they're on top of, which is really right on. And Leonard, good morning to you as well. And I know, thank you, Steve, for that. We're just closing out here because we only had half a show today. And appreciate y'all being on. Happy New Year. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow, same time, same place, on the same platforms at the same, earlier at the regular time, hopefully around 7:30. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. And so good morning to you, Dan, as well. Thanks for being on. Cheryl as well. A few people just shouting out here who I'm noticing who are being on. As we're signing off, stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. And then remember to stay aware, like, share, take care, and we'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care. Ciao for now.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.